Welcome to my second in a progressive series of yoga videos for beginners. This series is for those who are really new to yoga. If that's not you, but you want a review of basics, you might still find a few treats here, but we are looking at basics. If this is you, if you're in the right space, again, happy to have you. Go ahead. One, you don't even need a mat, but if you do have one, go ahead, come to standing near the front of the mat. Regardless of whether or not you have a mat, open your feet a comfortable width distance apart, knees facing generally forward. If it feels good for your knees, you can spin your second, third toes to face forward too, and then wiggle your toes. Also, just make sure your feet are lined up with each other. With your next inhale, lift all 10 toes up. Feel the arches of your feet lifting up with your toes. And you can balance out the weight between the front and the back of your feet and the inner and outer edges of the feet. Then keep pulling up through those arches. If your toes will move, spread them apart. If they don't move, no worries. And then lowering the toes down to the ground, pressing the toes gently into the earth. I'm Joe. Toes, and feeling a lift through the arches of your feet. Let your hips rest back over your heels, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. So ultimately there is a bit more weight in the back of your feet than the front of the feet because your hips are back over the back of your feet. Hands can come together in front of the heart, shoulders gently moving towards each other on the back. Connect from the hips down into the earth and turn inside to the breath. Feel the air on the nostrils. And feel the air moving through you, the air moving you. So as you inhale, the rib cage expands out, the skin opens up. And as you exhale, the rib cage moves back in, the skin softens back in. And just feel the connection to your breath. If you'd like to lengthen and deepen the breath, you can. Balance out the inhales and the exhales, but just coming into your breath. And feeling how the breath moves you and noticing how you feel. So just checking in with yourself, noticing if anything's asking for a little bit of attention, physically, mentally, or emotionally. Honor whatever that is. And keep awareness with whatever it is as you continue your practice. So letting yourself check in with yourself, letting yourself stay aware of yourself. Feel free with anything physical to modify, adjust, adapt. That's actually true with anything mental and emotional too. So if with more challenging practice, you notice that you just need to rest, just stop and take a rest. Breathe. We'll start with an Om, this universal sound. So if you'd like to join in, exhaling. Inhale deeply. Riding the waves of your breath, coming back to your connection with the breath. Feel the breath moving through you. And then moving with the breath. Exhale, release the hands to the side. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale, lower the arms to the side. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale, lower the arms to the side. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Left hand can grab right wrist. Exhale, leaning over to the left. Breathing here. Lining up your head and your neck. And then inhale up to center. Right hand can grab left wrist. Exhale to the right. Breathing here. Pressing down evenly through both feet. Inhale up to center. Exhale, release the hands to the sides. Inhale, knees as wide apart as the feet. Bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, back up to standing. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, back up to standing. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your thighs. Inhale, nice long spine. Keep the spine long as you exhale, slide the hands down the legs. So if your back rounds, you've gone too far. Inhale, slide the hands back up. Exhale, slide the hands down. Inhale, hands back up. Exhale, hands down. Again, with the spine extended. Inhale, lift your hips up. If your back starts to round, you've gone too far. Exhale, bend the knees as wide apart as the feet. Inhale, lifting the hips up higher. Head and neck in nice line with the rest of the spine. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift your hips up, holding here with an extended spine. If you have back issues, you might want to stay here. If your back feels pretty good, you can exhale gently and evenly, fold in only as much as feels good. Inhale, come back to extension. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, holding this extended spine. And then inhale all the way back up with a nice long spine. Exhale, connect from the hips into the earth. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your knees. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sliding down with extension. Inhale, hips lift up. Exhale, gently fold in if that's appropriate. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, long spine all the way up. Exhale, connect from the hips into the earth. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sliding down. Inhale, hips rise up with spine extended. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, back to extension. Exhale, hold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, connect from your hips into the earth. Breathing here. Nice full deep breath. Hands come back together in front of the heart. Shoulders on the back. Feel the breath moving through you. And then exhale, release the hands. Open your legs wide to the side. And you can go ahead here with your knees soft, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, the feet wider apart. Coming into a place where your feet are even, your knees and your toes facing forward. And then settling again, the tops of the leg bones back over your ankles or back over the back of the feet. Shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. And here, just make sure the low ribs are hugging in and up so your core is engaged instead of letting go of those muscles of the core. Hands can open up to a T and you can gently move the shoulders in towards each other on the back. Breathing here, feeling that pressing down through your feet, feeling that lightness through the arches and hugging in from the arches all the way into your hips as you press from the hips back down into the earth. Breathe. And then from here, you can bring your hands back to your hips. Turn the left toes towards the right a little bit more. Turn the right toes all the way out to the right. Right knee points towards second or third toe. Bend the right knee right on top of the ankle. Leaning into that right hip. Bring the right elbow to the right leg. Gently pressing the right knee open here. And then bowing a bit inside the legs. Gently press the left thigh back too. So both legs move back. Be careful not to lock that left knee. Softness of the knee. Feel free to stay here, lengthening the spine if this is the best place for your hips. Or with that nice long spine, leaning your whole torso back, not by moving the thigh forward, the leg stays back, but your hips come forward and meet the leg, breathing here. Inhale, roll the shoulders onto your back here. Exhale, bottom tips of the shoulders gently hug in towards each other. Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. And then inhale, if you want to, you can take the left arm alongside by your ear. Breathe. Nice full deep breaths. We will keep this position of the legs, but we'll press down in the feet and we'll rise up through the torso. And then go ahead, inhale, lean into the front hip. Exhale, lean back. And as you do this, let the hips rock a little bit. And notice that your hips can be slightly dropped or they can be what we call even and balanced and lifted. And decide what feels best for your hips, because Parsvakonasana, you take that deep hip tilt. Warrior Two, you back off of it some, but some people back off of it more than others. So decide what works for you. And then in the hip position that works for you, lift your hands up into a T and just look over the right fingers, breathing here. Nice full deep breaths. You're ready, release. Second side, bend the left knee. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Left knee tracks towards second or third toe. Bend the knee right on top of the ankle. Left elbow to the left leg. Gently press the knee open, leaning inside the legs. Gently press the right thigh back. So the top of the right leg is over the ankle. Soften through the knee though. Lengthen your spine here. And then if it works for you, leaning your whole torso back in line with the legs. Inhale, shoulders roll towards each other on the back. Exhale, bottom tips of your shoulders gently hug in. And then inhale if you want to. Right arm alongside by the right ear. Breathing here. And keeping the legs in this general position, rising up to the torso, but gently leaning in and out of that front hip, noticing where feels good for your body, and deciding where you want your hips to be. And then hands can lift up to a T, looking over those left fingers, breathing here. And then go ahead and come back to center. Turn all 10 toes to face forward. Soften through your knees. Let the hips move back. Reach the arms way forward out in front of you. Coming into a nice extended forward fold. Stretching spine long all the way down. Keeping knees bent for now. Eventually your fingers might come to the floor. If the floor is too far away, hands to your own legs and you'll stay here. If your hands are on the floor and you want to shift the weight more into the back of your feet, and stretch your hips back, you can. Breathe. And again, if your hands are on your legs, maybe stay where you're at. If they're on the floor, maybe bring as much weight to the front of the feet as in the back. And think of your spine long and your hips lifting up higher at first as you walk your hands towards your feet. Then you might gently and evenly let the back round, folding in. Legs can be bent or straight. And then go ahead and walk the hands back forward. Come back into a nice extended spine. Engage your core. Hands will lift up. Hands can come to the hips. And with that nice long spine, all the way back to standing. From here, you can turn the right toes towards the left. Left toes all the way out. Press down strongly to that left foot. And step the right foot forward, coming to facing the front of the mat again. Hands together in front of the heart. Shoulders together on the back. Connect to the breath. Hips over the back of your feet, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. And then we'll end class with an Om. So exhaling, inhale, Om. Thank you.